Good morning. Good morning. Here I am. I'm tired. I just woke up because I'm used to working and they didn't keep me at Macy's, but I've got another job. So it's going to be the same hours and the same days, which are fine with me because that's what I've become accustomed to. But I just wanted to say something really quick. Um, I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I didn't know what this was. I didn't know. See, people had told me that I had a bad spirit around me, and I didn't know what it was. Um, but apparently, I have this yelling spirit, and that's what I call it: a screaming, yelling spirit, a throwing a fit spirit. I had it around me, okay, and it was like I believe in 2009 or something like that. And it was around the time that my son had his birthday, but it was around July 3rd. Um, and we were coming back from, uh, from church. And I don't know, I saw the highway up ahead and I just said, I felt adventurous and spontaneous. And I was like, hey, for your birthday, let's just go to Oklahoma City. And, instead of waiting the next day, like I should have, I I just we just all took off. We were like, yeah, me and my daughter and my son. And so my car had this light on it for the longest time, and I didn't know what it was for. Because I'd never really had it checked out. I always thought, okay, yeah, I'll have it checked out when I get some money and whatnot. And I'm sorry, I'm tired. So I'm distracted. But so I just thought, okay, well, I'll get it checked out when I have some money, and I won't worry about it. It's kind of stupid because I'm not used to having a car, so cars are not my thing. I think some people would agree, like she can't drive either. So whatever. I can laugh at that now. I don't know if I could have laughed at that then, but anyway. Um. So, um, so we're heading down the highway. We get to Shawnee, right? And something blows, like boom. And my, no, my, I'm just glad that that my hood didn't just like open up, but it did open a little, when it blew. Okay. And I had no idea what it was. I thought, well, when we need oil or something. I pull off the highway at this little gas station thing. And, my car's smoking every time, as I'm driving. And I put water in it. It doesn't need any water. Well, it probably did, but it probably couldn't hold anymore. Well, I don't know. At this point, I didn't know what was going on. So I see a place to eat, and I take my kids and, buy them some food. And so I try to get back on the highway going back the other way, back home, and I'm smoking. So I have to pull over. I'm just like, this is sad. Okay, so I call my sister and she's telling me, do this, do that. And so then I call one of my friends and she's like, well, if you could pay for half of a hotel room, I'll pay for the other half. And so she called all the hotels in Shawnee and she was like, oh, you're not going to get a hotel. she calls me back. And I was like, why? And she said, because it's Kickapoo Nation and they're having 4th of July and they're having a powwow. So all the hotels are like booked. Like, great. This is a really small town. So I call this person I call a towing company, and they tow me to a Walmart. So it's really hot, and we're sleeping in the car. So I roll down the windows, and I don't know, the security guard kept coming by all night. I guess it was a 24-hour Walmart, and he kept passing me, or passing us. And when he did, I would wake up, like I could not sleep. So I said, it was a Sabbath, and I was like, it was over and everything. And I said, well, God, I am so sorry for breaking your Sabbath. I said, I feel horrible, and I'm I was repenting. And so I don't know. I just feel like my son needs to repent as well. Like, because he's old enough. Like, I repented for me and my daughter because she was too young. Anyway, the next day we wake up, and there's these early in the morning. There's these guys. They're coming in their truck, and they're like, I told them, I said I'd been there all night. Like, my car broke down, and they were like, well, you probably won't get anything done here. But see, no one else was open when my car broke down, and there wasn't, I guess the shop at the mechanic shop there wasn't open either at Walmart. But we sat there all night, and I told him, I said, well, I've been here with kids all night. And he was like, well, I'd like to go first because I think mine is easy and fast and da-da-da. I mean, he was really rude to me, mean. And at first I kind of got mad, right? But I didn't say anything to him. I think I went inside and I said something, and at that moment, I felt like it was just not right for me to be that angry and say the things that I was saying. And I think even the cashier was giving me a weird look because I went in there to buy food and something else. And so he actually got in before me, and the guy came out and he was like, I just think you need oil or something, because they really didn't know. And so they made me buy all this oil, and then he put it in. And it's like, I don't need oil, If you could just check the dipstick, you could see. So I was like, okay. So I take off. Excuse me. I just had sushi. So I take off, and I go a little bit because my car is smoking. So I drive a little bit and my car smokes, and I stop. So go and stop until I came to this, I don't know what place it was really. It's a convenience store or something. So I asked the lady in there, I said, well, where's the nearest automotive shop? Because there's no mechanic shop open. And she tells me, well, it's down the road this way and blah, 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 blah. So I start driving a little, stopping, driving a little. So finally I'm like, I can't do this anymore to my car. So I pull into this U-Haul place, and it's closed. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? And so I don't know what to do. I'm just sitting there, and this guy shows up with his family. His wife is driving their truck, and she's got the kids. And then he's driving the U-Haul truck. And they sit there for a little while, and they keep looking at us, and I was like, I wonder why they're looking at us. And this place is, it's obviously closed. So the guy gets out and he goes, are you guys waiting for a U-Haul? And we were like, no, we're kind of broken down. And he was like, oh. He said, well, I'm a mechanic. I can look under the hood there and see what's going on. And he said, it's really strange. They told me if I didn't bring this U-Haul back today, they were going to charge me an extra day. And I was like, wow. And there's nobody here. And I was like, yeah, it's closed. And he was like, oh, well, let me look under that hood. So I popped the hood, and he looked at it, and he was like, well, I think you have like a cracked water filter or water, whatever it is, the thing that has. And he goes, I can buy another one for you. And he went. I sat with his wife in the truck while my son and me and my daughter sat in there, and while my son and him went and got the new water cooler or whatever it is, the thing you put water in. And like I said, it's so strange. I have an uncle who was all into cars, but I didn't learn it. I didn't learn anything. So anyway, in fact, he even had his own shop. Anyway, he came back and he put it in, and he goes, I really can't, without tools, I really can't see what's, wrong down in there. So I can't see it. And he goes, I need tools, and I don't have any with me. And I was like, that's okay. So he said, well, we're going to get you guys out of this heat. So we all piled into their truck, and we went to Kmart. And I think about my daughter and I some flip-flaps or flip-flops or whatever they're called. And so they were giving away kittens by the side of the road. And he got one for his kids. And he brings it up. And the kid, his little boy, is trying to strangle that kitten. So I rescued it. And I put it right here. And it's crying. And I'm like trying to soothe it and everything. Because it's been taken from its mom. And, they probably had quite a journey getting to the side of the road. So I'm just holding this kitten, and it's really strange because the whole time I had this humility, and like I was calm, but inside I was hurting, and I was scared, and I was worried. How am I going to get my kids home? How am I going to do this? How am I going to fix this car? What am I going to do without a car? So I just kept, but I didn't say much. And that was really strange for me because I always have a lot to say. As you can see, this video is now 14 minutes. just now. But anyway, yeah, I talk too much. I come by it honestly. My mother is a very big talker. Anyway, I kind of wish I was like my grandfather. He didn't talk that much. My son is kind of that way too. My oldest son. But so the guy finally takes us back to our car, and he goes, I guess he gets us some water and something to drink and everything. And he says, I'm sorry, we really got to go because we were moving, and, we got to move in and blah, 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 blah. And I said, I understand, but thank you for all your help and all this stuff. And He's like, no problem. And I said, it was really nice meeting you guys. And they said, take care. And I said, thank you. And they left. And so now we're just sitting there. And I call the tow company again. And he's like, well, where do you live? And I said, I live in Bixby, Oklahoma. And he said, oh, that's an awful long way away. And I was like, yeah. And he said, well, I know you're stranded. I know you don't have any money. He said, so what I'll do is I will tow your car to my facility. I'll give you my address, and I will hold that car as long as you need, within a reasonable amount of time. And I won't charge you. And he said, but you have to call somebody to come and get you. And I was like, okay. He goes, yeah, call someone and then call me back. And I was like, okay. So I got off the phone and I said, God, I am so scared because the only person I know to call to help me right now is my father. And he is so strict. If I tell him that I broke the Sabbath, if, he's going to hit the ceiling, even though I'm an adult. He's going to just be like, why did you do that? Especially since my car is all messed up. And he told me, he said, did you break your father's Sabbath or my Sabbath? And I said, yours. And he said, well, then you don't have to tell your father anything. I was like, okay. So my son, he goes off and he calls my dad. And he comes back and he's laughing and he goes, you were so worried. And I said, about what? And he goes, because you thought you would have to explain everything and everything. He didn't even ask me one word and I didn't tell him anything. I was like, okay. And I'd been so good up to that point, even past that point. I mean, because that humility thing was just on me. I want to tell you something. When you're humble, but you just still feel the pain inside and you're just humble and you're not yelling and screaming or, throwing a fit. Actually, it's a pretty good feeling. I don't know why it is, but it just is. It's more satisfying than actually screaming. So anyway, I call the guy back. He comes and gets my car. My dad comes and gets us. On the way home, I'm praying to God and I'm thanking him. And I'm telling him, thank you so much for, all this stuff. And in the middle of my prayer, I hear this yelling spirit, but I don't know it's a yelling spirit. I have no idea what it is, but it is yelling and screaming and throwing a fit. And I'm just like, what is that? I thought it was my dad being angry in his head. I thought I was hearing him be angry. But actually, it turns out to be a yelling spirit. And I'll tell you how I know that. When I got home for a couple of days, I was very humble still. And then my dad told me, I want you to call AAA and ask them this question. So I call AAA and I ask the wrong question. And I call back and I say, well, this is what they told me. It's his AAA. It's not even mine. And he gets mad at me and he hangs up on me. And I threw my phone. The humility came off. It was kind of mayhem in my head. I was angry, really angry at my father because I had been experiencing just years of treatment like this for no reason. And so it was just here recently that after I had made an affirmation that I was going to do certain things, and that I was going to follow God and I was going to do what he wanted, that all of a sudden I hear that yelling spirit. And I said, God, I don't want that thing anymore. I don't know why I knew it was a thing, but all of a sudden I knew that it wasn't what I thought it was before. And he said, you'll never yell and scream again. He took it away from me. I was like, yes. Now if I can just gain a little bit of humility, I have a little joy over that. So I'm looking to overcome some other stuff too. Like, what else is he going to take away from me? Oh, what else am I going to repent of? What else am I going to, because I know there's several things. There's several things that I could change. So, I was like really happy. And so far, so good. And I don't feel like anything is coming back. I don't hear it. I don't feel it inside me. I don't feel the anxiety and the anger, which is preventing me from doing a lot of things, saying a lot of things I normally would say. But yeah, so I'm happy. And I just wanted to share that with everybody, that in obedience to God, that he's helping me. And gosh, I hope he takes it all the way. That would be nice. So I just want to say, in Jesus' name, shalom, abundance of peace. Thank you for watching, if you've been watching. I know you think I'm crazy. I know you think I've lost my mind, but I haven't. It's just these crazy spirits that are around me, and I didn't realize it. People told me that a long time ago. I did not believe them. But I know God sent me to do something, and he wouldn't, have given me all of that just to waste it. So I'm ready to
Think about heaven.
I'm ready to give out that information. I have more coming. So see you then. Bye.